Okay, continuing on to look at some new material, we have variable obscenity statutes. Besides the Miller test, states have also tried to pass their own laws. Notice that the Supreme Court has ruled that it is constitutional to ban the sale of material to juveniles that is legally distributed to adults. So again, since the Supreme Court has decided pornography falls into obscenity, yet, and this is what's somewhat odd, it still doesn't rise to the level of obscenity to lose its First Amendment rights. So it still can be created, and the reason for that is, as I talked about earlier, you open the door to allow pornography in. You either buy it on the TV, you go out and buy it, you seek it out, and you get it. That, they say for an adult, is legal, even though it's something we may not approve of or think highly of. We're not going to deem it obscene so that it loses its First Amendment rights and can legally be banned and not shown, because it's not something that you just randomly run across. So that way we say, but we can say, because now once we have, and I know this is amorphous when saying this, that it's in obscenity. When things are in a obscenity category, the state has the power to regulate it. And so it falls into obscenity for that purpose. For the different states can make different laws to say that, we don't allow certain things to be shipped here. Nothing can come through the mail into our state that fits this category. Or as they say here, some states have passed bans saying if you're under 18, you cannot purchase pornography. I don't think there's any state that does 16, but 18 is generally accepted as the legal standard, that as of 18 you have the right to go in and purchase any pornographic material that you want, regardless of your age. And because of the status of pornography as pseudo, and I know I use a different one each time, pseudo obscene, then because of that it can be regulated, but it cannot be banned, in the sense of you can't make a sweeping ban that nothing dealing with sexual materials can be in the state, etc. So even when Duval County had their law on the books that nothing could be shipped in to Duval County, other places in Florida it was completely legal. And so when I was a student at UF, one semester I ended up having to stay in Jacksonville, so I only took classes 2 days a week, and I drove to Gainesville each time. And I'd always go past the Waldo flea market. And if I ever needed to, for some reason, stay a weekend or something down there, I always remember when I would either drive home or go down there on the weekends, the Waldo flea market in Bradford County was there, and there was always a big sign out front saying X-rated videos. So, if you live in Jacksonville, you can't have anything shipped here, you could just go to a neighboring county and purchase it. So you have access to it still. Or even Orlando or Miami had it legal, so you may have to drive a long time, but if you really want your pornography pre-internet, you could get it in neighboring counties. But juveniles could not purchase it. You had to be an adult. Laws restricting access by juveniles to indecent material on the internet have been largely, notice, unsuccessful. So regulating the internet has been unsuccessful because courts have ruled that they also limit legal access by adults. And so that is what the problem is. It's not that any court has said, we want juveniles to be on the internet looking at porn. That's not what they're saying. But currently the internet, that big amorphous being the internet, does not have parental controls. There's no way to block out overall. There's no way to block out all bad websites. And that's when all these different statutes that were made started falling, the courts were saying you're over regulating it, then the cable companies or the service providers, either AOL or a long time ago Comcast, AT&T, whoever you have, they now mostly have parental controls that you can block certain websites. But that's only been in the past, I don't know, about 8 to 10 years. It may not even be that long ago, because there's been 5 significant regulation of adult material on the internet laws passed by Congress, and every one of them has been knocked down by the Supreme Court, because every one of them at some point says there's going to be a blanket ban on something. They ban one thing or another, and the courts say that as a legal adult in this country, you have the right to decide what you want to see. If you want to see pornography on your computer, you have the right, if you're old enough. And that's why all websites, pornographic websites, now ask you, are you 18? You must be 18 to continue. So at least to cover themselves, they put an affirmative measure there that you have to click on and say, yes, I swear that I am over 18. So that means you've let them off the hook. They've done their duty by warning you that this is not a place for people under 18, and you can get in. But usually there's not anything more than that, just saying, yes, I am 18. And we know people lie. But the flip side is, if we didn't do that, then we would just have to either have everything pay sites, nothing free, or we would just have to limit access to everyone on a particular topic. So then you're infringing on the rights of a consenting adult to do what he or she wants. And the courts have a huge, huge problem with that.